All right, cue the fade out. Happy Sunday, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you reside in this wonderful planet we call Earth. Let me go ahead and I'm actually a little bit more prepared this time. Make sure the sound's good. All right, cool. Sounds like it's good. Let's turn it just a little bit. Cool. Let's get this party started. The screen's here. Oh, you saw me standing up for a second. That's funny. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Like I said, how's everyone doing? I see Armand. Good morning, Johnny, and everyone. Good to see you, my friend. Pratish. Hey, handsome. Oh, stop it. You're making me blush. How you doing, my friend? Amar. Hi, Johnny. Good to see you. Niraj. Hi, oi. Hello. Bedarius. Hi, everyone. How you guys doing? Doing good. How are you doing today? Good to see you. All right, guys. We got some stuff to talk about. It's very interesting what happened over the past. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of expecting this a little bit. I was leaning on a couple different variations. We talked about those in previous streams. I'll go ahead and go over those again. Just like some of the alternatives or like some of the variations of what could be going on. And yeah, we can go on from there. If you guys have any questions regarding, the TA that I'm talking about, ABCs, if you're new to the channel, I know we picked up a good amount, a couple of subscribers recently. So if you guys are new to the channel, if you guys are interested in learning the method or have any questions about the way I trade or anything, please don't be shy. Don't be afraid to ask. It's what I do this for. That's why I stream, just to help you guys out as much as I can. So let's go ahead and talk about what is going on, what could be happening, or the possibilities what could be happening. So in order for me to kind of give you my stance on things, I need to kind of understand the bigger picture of what's going on. And we've talked about a couple of things in the past, for the last couple of weeks, and I mentioned every once in a while, or I say over the last couple of months. One of the things that we've been looking at is this ABC here, right? Well, in this case now, the C leg has extended with its own ABC within the C. So for me personally, I would consider this a larger completed structure. Now, the real question is this done, or are we due for another leg or another section of this bear market? And for me, what I like to do, and it's something that I'm considering as well, is you guys should be taking into consideration, or at least thinking about the idea that, maybe we could do something like we did in the bull market. Come in, put in an aggressive original trend, come back down, retrace, an extension. This is not as aggressive as the bull market, but you can almost make an argument that this has been one continuous downtrend. Maybe we're due for some sort of correction, and then maybe we're going to come back down and put in one more lower low, kind of similar to what's been going on here or what happened in the previous bull market. This, in my opinion, seems like the most logical and something I would like to see happen. Doesn't necessarily have to happen. We could just be having a slight recovery rally and going ahead and possibly reversing, going to at least much lower lows from here. We don't have to extend all the way up there. Let's talk about the possibilities of what could be happening. But as of right now, the way I'm thinking, the way I see things, I'm kind of leaning on that idea as of now. That is definitely up to change. If price develops, drastically different over the next couple of weeks or months, I definitely would, change my statements, or at least retract that idea and kind of look at the next possible or the next viable option. As of right now, that seems like the main thing that I'm personally looking for. So keeping that in mind, let's go ahead and zoom in. Guys, remember, when I say zoom in, I usually stick to like an hour to 2 hour. Maybe if I'm trying to find an entry, a 30-minute. But usually in 1 to 2 hours, like the kind of like my golden area, the place where I like to start out if I'm not looking at the macro. So first things first, keeping that in mind, I want to actually, let's go to a 3 hour. I want to just show you guys what's going on here. Me personally, this is a larger extension of the C. of the last leg from the last ABC that I shown you. And as long as we're above, according to this structure, as long as we're above that AT100, that's definitely bullish. As you can see, we definitely pumped straight through that. The ideal case was to get it back above 17,600 and maintain. And obviously we did. I managed to pick up some spot buys here. I picked up some on this pump and also picked up a little bit more on this pump. But I kind of sprinkled it in as it was coming up, so my entry wasn't the best, but I did buy a little bit of spot. So I'm sitting happy on my main accounts. But that's the larger perspective of what this is, or how this looks like this is going to end, or how it ended. Now, we were looking at something else at the time before this pump happened. I believe we were like down in this region. We were like here before the last time I streamed. So as we were approaching that high, I basically said, guys, look, there's a couple of things that could be happening. One of the main things I was looking for is we were looking for a much larger A to a B to a C to form, right? From there, I was looking for price to maintain below that wick. And from there, that showed a definitely much more a larger completed setup with the possibility of us reversing and continuing to lower lows. That necessarily did not happen. We kind of just blew straight through it, and we're currently sitting way above that A wave now. So the question is, so there's some people in the group, in the Discord group, who have asked me, is there any short setups we take, or what's the next move? Is there any long positions? Unfortunately, like when it comes to taking longs, I know the guys who are relatively new to the group, the area where we were looking to take longs at was back down here at 15,475. That's where I got in, and I'm basically planning on holding it. I think we're going to get an opportunity sooner than later, especially now that the price has pumped up significantly. I will let you guys know what that case is. In order for me to even consider taking profit on this long, I'm going to need a much larger pullback. Something like that. Relative to that size. This shows that, hey, price is kind of pulling back in a healthy correction form. And from there, I can go ahead and try to continue to take the rest of the trade up. You're looking for a bullish setup off of that pullback, and you're trying to play into the continuation of that bullish move. So, me personally, I'm just sitting on the sideline, just letting this ride. I'm basically letting price do what it do. A couple things to consider as we're pumping up here is that we are running into a couple of areas of resistance that I don't necessarily keep any or make any trading decisions based off of these levels, but this is something to keep in mind. We could reverse anywhere in between these regions, but in order for me to consider a reversal, I need to find a bear structure. Now for me, I need something of this magnitude. I need a clear separation in trend. Now if I go to a 30, even though I go to a 30-minute, I mean, you can make the argument that we're kind of separating now, but for me, if I go to a 1 hour, this looks like one continuous trend to me. I'm not too convinced that this is a clear ABC. I need to find a clear break in trend, break a structure, form a healthy, nice pullback before continuing higher. From there, I'll start to consider taking shorts again. But right now, the bullish momentum is there, and I think we're looking pretty good. As we were saying before, the possibilities of this coming up and extending even further, in my opinion, do increase. I honestly think we're due for a larger relief rally, probably testing like anywhere from like 30 to 35k. I want to say like somewhere in this region, because there's a lot going on in this area. So I would say we're somewhere in the middle, like 32k would be nice. That's somewhere I would like to see this wave go to. And in order for me to establish that this trend is complete, like I said, I need to find a clear, much larger structure here. Now, I'm just painting examples. It doesn't have to necessarily be this magnitude or this size of a structure. I'm just trying to illustrate the emphasis, or I'm trying to emphasize the fact that I am looking for a much larger completed structure. Let's see. A leaf 17,600 was another long entry on BTC. Yes, you could have taken that. Just me personally, we didn't know at the time where price is going to go. You can make the argument that yes, this is absolutely, I 100% agree, this is a long entry. But one of the things I've noticed over the course of doing this is that sometimes these larger structures are more prone to a lot of chop. You can get caught up in situations to where you would have taken a long here, probably taken a loss. You probably would have taken at least 2 trades in this 17,600 region, 3 to come up here, 4. 4th would have hit, but doesn't mean we're necessarily you would be doing good as of now. So I 100% agree. 17,600 was an entry. If someone were to ask me, would you take this? I would say if you want to, you can. It's a valid setup. Just be aware that you're going to be running into some chop, especially due to the larger structure playing out. That's just my personal opinion. You definitely could have taken it though. I wouldn't have, wouldn't have held any grudges. I wouldn't have said anything. But yeah, that's pretty good. Like I said, as of right now, there's a couple of resistances we're kind of hovering at. I need to see a larger ABC structure form and complete before I can even think about being bearish again. But as it stands, there's nothing that I'm waiting on, or nothing I'm looking to take. I'm just waiting for positions to play out. Hopefully we can get an answer soon. I am on the side of being a little bit more bullish, just because I'm kind of been taking a look around YouTube and seeing what other people are thinking. And I would say everyone, a lot of people, I would say a majority of people out there are more convinced that this is a relief rally than not. And usually when that happens, these relief rallies can extend a lot further than most people anticipate. Very similarly to what happened with BTC when it was in this area of price action. When we were hovering around here, everyone thought that this was just a pullback. Oh, we have an ABC pullback. I was on that boat for a little while, but at the same time, I knew that if price broke this prior local support, we definitely can see much further continuation of the downside. Same thing. No one really expected that. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence, or on the side of that. I think this might be a relief rally, but it might extend a lot further than what most people are anticipating. So for me, I'm gonna need, there's some resistance on the way up, and it's pretty significant in my opinion. Oh God, my back's itchy. It's pretty significant in my opinion, but I definitely think we can get up here to these upper regions. Let's see. Yeah, I took it only because I didn't get your entry. Yes, that's perfectly fine, Alif. I'm 100% on board with that. Let's see. Amar, hi Alif, good to see you here. You too. David Tech, hey bro, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. You're on your live account. I'm used to seeing you on the Trading with David Tech channel, but it's good to see you, David. Thank you so much for stopping by. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on, folks. I'll make sure to let you guys know when it's done, but David has been working a lot on some of the things that are going to be very helpful for those who trade ABCs. And it's very exciting. I'm very excited to share that with you guys. I'm not going to say when and where it's going to happen, but there's some stuff going on behind the scenes. David's putting in a lot of work. He's also putting a lot of work into his Discord group. So he's definitely puts a lot of time and effort into his community. So I definitely am appreciative of that. I'm appreciative to be part of the group. And I'm very excited to show you guys what's in the works once everything is said and done. So good to see you. There you go. Trading with David. Hey, on the right account. There you go. Good to see you. Good to see you, David. But like I said, I'm very excited about that. I promise I'll let you guys know once everything is set in stone. But I'm very happy to be working with David on some of the things that he's been working on. So, but going back to the TA here, we do have, like I said, some resistances. The only thing I can say right now, the only available position, which right now is a little bit of a stretch, But if we manage to come all the way back down and put in this, get back below that 18,375, I am in no reason to be shorting right now. I'm just gonna let this ride. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about ETH, just because a lot of the coins are following or very similar to each other. But there's a couple things that are different, or that differentiate, or I can't think of the word. I'm sorry. That differ. I guess I'm just gonna stick with that. From the way it's developing compared to BTC. ETH has its own thing going on. LTC has its own thing going on. So we're definitely going to be talking about the possibilities of what could be happening with that. First things first. As for ETH, as I take a look on the larger time frame, larger perspective, we do have a much larger ABC. Now, the question is this done, or is this part of a larger structure? As you can see here, I kind of just drew a little bit ahead of time. But me personally, I'm on the fence that this is, or I'm on the side of the fence that this is leaning more towards a larger ABC here. That maybe this is just a relief rally, like I said, and we could definitely put in a much larger reversal setup before continuing lower. This is always subject to the change, but as of right now, I'm kind of doing my best to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And for me personally, this is what I'm leaning on. This is what I'm probably the most confident in, I guess, like my most confident setup. And so if that is the case, how can we dissect the smaller parts of price action to take advantage of the possible move and get yourself in a position to where you can definitely catch the leg up? In this case scenario, we had a much larger A, B, C to an A, to a B, to a C. This is a larger A. Now we had an A to a B to a C here to our B. And we possibly can come down and put in a lower C. That is if we do not get that higher high. The more likely structure and how I'm viewing this is that this is an A to a B to a C. And then now all this here is going to be a larger continuation of the C wave. You know, this is making up the larger B, and we're working on the C. This is very kind of choppy. I'm not the biggest fan of how this is developing on the small, or how this developed on the smaller time frame, but we can't be picky with how price decides to move. All we can do is just kind of just see what it gives us and create setups, create plans, and trade off of what price gives us. So it definitely is looking promising. Honestly, I'm on the fence, especially with ETH. You know, we're kind of coming up testing that 1681 resistance. Besides that, I am pretty confident that we're going to at least come up and test 2038. Can we push further? Absolutely. But for me personally, I think we're definitely going to come up and test this upper region. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Unfortunately, there's no significant short setups for ETH. You can kind of see I have a trigger, a alert off of this line here. And that's based off of this ABC. If I go to like a 1 hour, we have this set up. Obviously, we're a little bit more extended past the C. So in order for me to consider taking a short setup, if we do not get a higher high past 2040, we can definitely get a setup anywhere in this range. But it has to be significant in size, enough for me to basically be able to see on a 1 to 2 hour and say, you know what? Okay, this looks like a valid setup to me. But right now, we are not at that point. You know, if I zoom out, this looks like one continuous trend. So as long as ETH is in this uptrend still, as long as you don't get a clear separation or a nice larger pullback to kind of show some clear separation between the two trends, for me personally, all I can do is let this ride. There's really no other setups here. We're doing our best to just kind of see what happens. I know unfortunately, some of you guys did not get entries at these lower price points. But I promise you guys, there is always going to be opportunities. Always, always, always. You just might have to wait for them. Please do not FOMO. Do not try to sit there and think that this is it. We're going into the bull run. Even if that's the case, we can play this the exact same way. You know, this is something I'm going to talk about in future videos. But one of the things we've mentioned in the past is how to take advantage of the bull market And we can use the previous bear market as an example. There's a lot of opportunity when it came to shorting the tops of the bear market. And we did a fantastic job. Now, unfortunately, we play both sides of the coin here. And sometimes that can kind of hold you back. But if you just stuck to shorts, you would have done a killer job. You would have, I think we did the calculations on stream. Even made a separate video about it. You would have made close to 250% just by shorting tops in the bear market here off these much larger structures, much larger ABCs. If you guys want me to show you, I can show you them. But we're gonna be doing the exact same thing when it comes to the bull market when the time comes. If the time is now, we're only gonna be trying long pullbacks. If it's not the time now, we can go ahead and focus on shorting tops again. But like I said, we try to play both sides of the coin. So we're going to do our best to play, to take advantage of as much price action as we can. But, I could sit here and do this all day. Let's see. Better late than never. How's it going, Johnny? Harvey, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Matic shorts setup. I'll take a look at Matic here in a second, Alif. If you lose a chance, there's always another. Exactly, Flavio. There's always going to be another opportunity. So please, it's always best it's better to sit on the sideline than it is to try to FOMO into a position that you shouldn't be taking. Let me just go over LTC quick, and then I'll go back to Matic just because I want to see. Okay. So LTC is an interesting spot. It's like I said, these three coins have developed slightly different from the others. This is a larger A to a B to a C in my opinion. I can go ahead and break these down for you. Now, fortunately, the B wave, the yellow B wave here, this pullback wasn't a clearer ABC structure. I'd like to see these setups be a lot more developed, especially on the macro time frame, but it doesn't necessarily have to happen. To me, this shows a much larger, clearer ABC, and within the C wave, we can go ahead and establish an ABC and come up with a trading plan based off of that. As of right now, I am shorting the peak of that 85.43. Now, just keep in mind, folks, I'm just letting you guys know. You guys see me talk about these price labels where I put them. All I'm doing is referring to the high of the wick here. Some of you, I'm not gonna mention names or anything, but there's some people who got caught up with ETH just because they wicked down. Not exactly to that. I had my price label almost at that level, so people were kind of setting it up differently than how I did it. How I do it is once I establish a setup, I pretty much go to the top of the wick here, and I will give it some room. Okay, I think this entry is at 85.24. You can go down a little bit further, like 85.21, 85.20, just to give price a little bit more breathing room. Actually, I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit more, just to give price a little bit more breathing room. Doesn't have to be exactly 1 penny over. I like to keep it exact. I tell you guys, make sure you zoom in to get it as close as you can, but make sure it's underneath the pivot of the A. Let's see. Let's see. X Clarity, do you think this run is a trap? It's possible. I honestly don't know. All I can do is go price based off of previous price history and kind of see how prior markets behaved. One of the main examples I like to refer to is this previous bull market here. You can see we had an initial rally, a pullback, and then an extension. I messed up. Sorry. Run up, pullback, extension. Same thing here. We had an initial push to the downside. To me, this looks like one larger continuous trend. If this is going to be a larger pullback, I want to see a push up to like 30, 32K. Let's say 31K to be exact. And if we see that, then we can go ahead and talk about the possibility of continuing lower. If we can see something like this, I would definitely be more confident in this happening. Or sorry, if we can see a further continuation of the upside, I would be a lot more comfortable with this happening. And I would be more willing to play shorts and hold them for a much larger continuation of the bear market. you know, this could be done. This could be it. But I'm playing based off of what I've seen in previous price setups or how prices developed in the past. As of right now, this seems like the most probable to me. I will definitely go back and fall on that sword and change my mind if we just continue to push through and test our, you know, come up to test the new highs. But as of right now, I'm convinced that this is just a relief rally. Let's see. Alley Cat, what bot are you using at the moment? As of right now, I just have because I have a subscription with TV Hub just because I bought one a little while ago. I'm currently using TV Hub just to make sure they get my entries. But I am going to be switching over to Trigger.trade once that's all set up. Everything was working great. The bot runs fantastic. It's very fast. It's responsive. It got me into great setups. I used it initially to get into my first LTC trade. There's only one issue with it. The only issue is that it kept stacking margin, or it kept adding margin every time it crossed over. That's something that TV Hub bot doesn't do. But as far as I know, David and William are definitely setting that up for the static bot, which is what I'm going to be using. So once that's all fixed, I just want to make sure I got my entries. I'm going to be, you know, removing that and switching over to Trigger.trade. So that's what I'm going to be using going forward. And yeah, but like I said, there's just one little kink in the armor. There's just one last thing that I wanted to be implemented. And so it could be a lot more hands off. Yeah. The last update I got is that, you know, it's being added. Wait, David, this is the song in your intro, isn't it? If you're still here. That sounds like the song he uses in his intro. That's pretty fun. I must save that so I know. All right, we'll play the David song. We'll keep playing the David song. Please create video on Trigger Trade once you switch. Yes, I will make, guys, when everything's all set and done, I will be making an official video on here how to use it, as well as I'm going to be letting you guys know in the Discord for those who are interested in using bots, and we'll make a separate tutorial and help you guys set that up. And yeah. Yes, Flavio, David song. Alley Cat, would you use the bot to exit? No. So I would just use the bot to get me in the trades. We would be focusing on taking profit manually. Just because the time separation and how we trade is definitely going to be different than how we enter. So I'm focusing on just getting the trades, make sure I get my trades in the best possible positions, and then I'll take profit from hand and then set up the entry again on the bot again. That's funny how we're talking about bots and David, and next thing you know, David's song comes on. Is there any info to start looking into the bot? So they do have a working website. It's called Trigger.trade. I didn't say my password. Hold on, let me log in. But they do have their own website. Everything does work. Well, I just have. David is a cool song. Well, let me just log in here. I'll show you guys what it is. All right, so I'm in. All right, so basically you log in, you get to this page here. If you're going to create a static bot, and all you're gonna do, I'm not gonna do the APIs, but you get APIs from Bybit. If you guys want me to show you how to do that, I could show you how to do that as well. And then it allows you to pick all the coins here. It's pretty similar to TV Hub. It's pretty much got all the same features. I mean, like I said, there's just been an issue when it comes to the stacking of the margin, but according to the adding margin is fixed in today's. Oh, there you go. David just confirmed it there. So it should be it's gonna be fixed in today's update. But pretty much all you would do is make sure you set your APIs, set your parameters, what coin you want to trade. Make sure you set stop loss. We're using 3% stop loss. No final take profit. I believe I turned this off. Yeah, and I'll go through it, and that's pretty much it. All you have to do here, you can't see it above my head, but you hit copy, enter long, enter short, and then all you do from there, it's the same thing when it comes to some of these other bots. But you would go to, like, let's say you wanted to short, for an example. Let's say you wanted to short ABC up here, and I'm using a 2-minute, guys, just an example's purposes. All you would do is basically create an alert, copy paste the code, and then, well, there's other steps involved too, but that's the easiest way to explain it. I'll go ahead and make I'll make a step-by-step tutorial on how to work it out, how to set everything up once everything is done. But it should be done by today, according to David. So definitely sometime earlier this week, I'll definitely be letting you guys know how it works and be making an official tutorial. Is it part of the Patreon subscription, or any extra charges in there? Part of the subscription. It's part of David Tech subscription. Now, maybe down the line, like I said, I'm not sure how we're gonna do this, but maybe we can work something out to where if someone is exclusively coming from my community, wants to use it over, maybe we can figure it out from there. I believe there's gonna be, I don't know how the pricing is gonna be, but according to David, I think right now it's just part of his Patreon subscription. So definitely go check out his channel and check out his Patreon, where you can get access to the bot from there. It's a great tool. Including for anyone in my group or Johnny, yes. Okay, yes, that's okay. So that's how we're going to be setting it up. If you guys join my group or David's, you guys will get access to the bot. I'll have to talk to him and see how we're going to set that up. But it looks like that's going to be the plan. All right, let's take a look at Matic. I know someone brought that up. So Matic, let's see. Matic is short. Yeah, so I know who mentioned this before. Who is it? I believe. Who the heck? Did I lose you in chat? All right, I know someone said check Matic, so I'm going to check Matic. I'm sorry, I cannot find you in chat for some reason. A leaf. Yes, it was a leaf. Yep, there it is. I found it. All right, so Leaf, if you're still here, my friend, I'll go ahead and look over Matic real quick. Yes, Matic, it is continuing to, or it did touch the resistance of the prior ABC. This is a situation, because someone asked about this in the Discord. In situations like this, this is still a viable short setup until you put in the new high. So price can come around, dance in this region. All right, and eventually, if it does come back down, you would still be taking this entry here. But until it puts in that new high, you would be taking that $0.05. Leaf, you are correct. I know you brought that up to the Discord earlier today. I did see that. But yes, if you guys are interested in Matic, definitely a decent setup here. Unfortunately, I did not take this just because I'm a little bit weary. I'm a little bit cautious on taking shorts at the moment. But yeah, as of right now, that's what Matic looks like. That's what I think the viable setups, or at least the levels that matter for Matic at the moment. How's my KDA doing? All right, I noticed this before. If you guys are interested in trading KDA, it is offered up with leverage. Just tread very careful with this coin, because I've gotten burned so many times with this. We do have a short setup. We're currently below that, but me personally, I have bought KDA on spot back here like 87 cents back in like November. Let's see. What about Johnny's lifetime subscribers? There may be an issue of Patreon cancellation after payment. I'll have to, like I said, I'll have to work that out with David and see how we're going to do that. I'm not too sure exactly what the details of that, but like I said, I promise I will let you know. I would definitely let you know when that when I have an update or when I have information available when it comes to that. But it's definitely something I did consider. Let's see. I took the KDA short to hedge my long. Not a bad idea, Alan Clark. Not a bad idea. Like I said, I would just tread lightly with this coin. Give yourself some breathing room, man. I've gotten burned so many times off of KDA with leverage. Give yourself I would personally give myself like a 4% stop. And even still, that might be a little close. Cardano, and someone asked me about Cardano in the Discord group earlier, so I drew out like a scenario here. There is an ABC that's valid, but for me, I'm looking for a much larger setup to form before I can consider taking shorts. To me, this just looks like a continuation of, this looks like one larger trend. I don't see a clear separation yet. So yeah, but once I get a clear separation, then I'll go ahead and trace the possible scenario for that. But excuse me, guys. I'm like, it's weird. I woke up, felt fine. I went to bed very late last night just because I just couldn't sleep. So I only got like 6 hours of sleep last night. And so I'm a little bit, I'd rather, if this is my thing, because I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule. If I go to bed, like the night before, I went to bed at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and I woke up at like 2 p.m. I'm like, oh God, I can't be doing this. If it was up to me, and if I didn't get woken up at all, I'd sleep till like 4 to 6 p.m. that day. But I can't be doing that. So I gotta fix my sleep schedule. So me staying awake right now, it's definitely gives you the best chance of fixing it. Let's see. Looks like XMR is putting a possible short setup. I did see this. It has completed its setup. For some reason with XMR, like I just don't like the way it develops. Like these trends are so choppy. Same thing when it comes to XMR, as I would approach it the same way as you would for KDA. If you are going to trade this, please guys, give yourself some breathing room. Give yourself some room. Give room for price to breathe. Same thing, like 4 to 5%. I would say 4.5 to be exact, and just target lower. It's hard for me to take a position on these just because of how choppy some of these trends are. I'm not the biggest fan of how it develops, but that's just me personally, though. Oh wow, we're at 541. Awesome. All right. Does anybody have any questions for me? All right, shall we do some Wordle? What do you guys think? Oh, Amar, that's a great point. Conditional order versus limit order. Let's see. Tashid, hey bro, do you feel the symmetrical triangle is holding a structure? Oh, you're talking about this tiny thing? To be honest, Tashin, I do not pay attention to triangles. If anything, these triangles can be signs of continuation, but you can see it's kind of not respecting it. Well, I mean, we did come up, we broke out, came back, tested support, but for me, my friend, this is way too small of a time frame to even worry about that. That's not necessarily what I do, but you kind of have to go along with the trend. These patterns do show signs of continuation, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do continue to keep pumping from here. Let's see. Let me go over conditional versus order, because Amar asked me in the Discord, and I did want to clear that up. Let's see. Muchamed, if I butcher that, I'm so sorry. Hi Johnny, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. What do you feel will happen from here, brother? Great question. I'll go over that real quick. So if you guys missed what I said earlier in the stream, pretty much things look pretty good from a bullish standpoint, but be aware from the larger perspective of how I'm viewing this. I think this is going to be a temporary relief rally. So the problem is everyone, oh, sorry, I keep saying everyone. A lot of people out in the space right now are saying that this relief rally is topping out. Like, we're done here. To me, I'm viewing this entire trend of this last year, over a year of bear market as one continuous trend. To me, if this is going to be a relief rally, I think we're going to come up a lot higher to like that 32K region before coming down, putting another low. That's if that is going to happen. Doesn't necessarily have to happen. We could get a scenario to where we do reverse bearishly, but for me, I'm kind of leaning on that idea as of right now. I think we're gonna come up with 32K eventually. The only thing that changed my mind on that is if we come back, if we significantly drop and get back below, if we can get back below AT 400, that does not look good in my opinion. But as of now, that looks pretty good. There's a couple area of resistance based off of these prior highs to keep an eye out for. But besides that, I think price definitely has a lot of bullish pressure underneath it. And I think it's going to come up to at least test 32K. That is my personal feeling though, based off what I've seen. It's something similar to what happened in the previous bull market. When we had this pullback in this area, everyone thought that we were going to end because of the 3-wave move. You know, we had support here. Oh, guys, we're going to bottom out here. This is it. We're going to keep going. No, we ended up coming down, putting another significant drop, and tested this local low. All right. And from there, we put in another continuation rally. You know, almost the same thing what's going on with BTC now. What I would think would happen. is that we put in a much larger bull trend, or in this case, bear trend. All right. We're going to come down, put in a smaller pullback rally before continuing. The exact same exact thing. That's what I'm looking for. If things change, I'll let you guys know. But as of right now, that's what I'm looking for. If that's the case, where will you take profit on your longs? Alan, great question. For me, I have to wait for another bullish setup to take profit on the longs. So, for example, if we come up, let's say we do come up to like 29K. All right, and let's say we put in a much larger setup like this. I will take profit once price gives me an ABC bullish setup again before continuing higher. That's where I will take profit. I'm not going to take profit exactly at 32 just because I don't know if that is actually going to be the top. If I see a bearish setup with a bullish continuation profit taking area or profit taking opportunity, I will take it. But I have to wait for that to form. As of right now, that's not there. Example of that, I can give you a good example off that, but from the opposite perspective. We took a short setup off of this here. Same thing. I can't take profit until I find a bearish continuation setup. All right. Wow. All right. And we did form one here. And that setup is relative in size to the previous position. All right. You can see. So what I did was I took profit on this and re-entered here. And basically let price. If price continued from there, I walk away with profit. You can see that was the right move. Even though I was anticipating lower, it's okay to take profit sometimes. So like I said, I need to see a clear, in this case, if I'm going to use that same idea or the same logic, I need to find something like this. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exact. Oh shit. But something close in size. I would probably say something like this. So I would like to see something like this form. Obviously the C has to be lower than EA. But something like that. If we can get something like that, but idealistically, I would want to see a little bit more of a pump before we do that, and then I can go ahead and take profit on the long. So Alan, I hope that helps. Simu Shaman, hey Johnny, what do you think about the ending diagonal in BTC right now? Thanks. If you're worried about, to me, it's too small of a time frame. We're on a 5-minute. You know, some people are talking about diagonals, some people are talking about triangles. Me personally, I don't care for it. We have a lot of bullish pressure from being down these lows. I'm more worried about the 30-minute to an hourly, and that's the time frame you should be focusing on. All right, let me go back to a Mars question because I want to explain that. So let me show you. I always do that. Okay. So in the Discord before, some of you guys in the group, and some of you guys who may be doing this, don't necessarily want to use a bot, or I don't know what the reasoning is, but some of you guys don't want to use the bot. That's fair. That's fine. I can say this from almost 2 years of using this method, about 1.5 years of this method. A trigger bot or an entry bot has been an absolute game changer in this. And if you guys are going to do this with some sort, with any amount of seriousness, or if you want to take ABC seriously, I 110% recommend you take the time and invest a little bit into these bots. The only reason why is because it literally will make your life so much easier, okay? So I'm going to go over the conditional method, or the old method I used to use. I made a video about this and I shared it with the guys in the group. But I want to show you guys, if you guys aren't going to use bots to get your entries, this is how I would used to do it. Okay. So in order for me to do this, I have to give you guys, I have to go into replay to paint you a picture. Okay. So let's say we get a larger move with a clear separation in trend. The first thing I would do is mark out the line here. Okay. And then I can't use it as an example because I'm in the replay mode, but let's just say this red line was a alert on TradingView, right? So all I would do is basically go right click, set alert, set the what's it called? I guess the option. Oh, let me go back. Set alert. You would set the condition to just crossing. Okay. All right. Set the set the condition to crossing. Once price gets back above, I'll show you how I would have done this. Now there's two different ways to approach doing this. One is requires a little bit quicker movement in Bybit, or just quicker reaction to this in general, just because sometimes when a conditional hits, especially if you're not at your computer, sometimes these entries can come in like that, way faster than you can possibly ever imagine trying to get in. Sometimes it'll go in and next thing you know, the trade will complete, or the trade setup will go into effect, and then literally 30 seconds later it'll be past its entry to where it wouldn't make sense to get in. Okay, I went a little bit too far back. Can I change this again? All right, so what's going to happen? See, we're pumping up to here. So as soon as price gets above that line, or touches that line and gets above it, you're going to get an alert, okay? When that alert goes off, that means, hey, your setup is now active. Your ABC setup here, your short setup is active. All right, be ready to take a trade. So there's two things that can happen. There could be a scenario to where you get a slight wick, it kind of bounces, and then your entry will trigger. If that's the case, your job is to get onto Bybit, whether it's on your computer or on your phone, as fast as possible. You're gonna go to the right side here. I'm just gonna zoom in. All right, you're gonna go to that. Make sure also you go to kites. Risk reward calculator. All right, make sure let's save $1,000. So make sure your settings or your risk reward calculator are correct. You're gonna go in, type in the margin. So in this case, 60. Oh, sorry, that's what BTC. Make sure the value, okay, lines up with the amount of the same amount as the margin size. Well, let me just make sure I'm not crazy. Okay, no, I'm sorry. It's the cost. The cost of the trade lines up with the margin size section. So in this case, you want to get to $60. So 0.0567. So in this case, 0.65, 66, 68, 69. You can see how, even though, because price is constantly fluctuating, I have to go in and adjust to make sure that the cost of this trade equals the same as the margin. All right. So in this case, it'd be 0.69. All right. From there, you're going to hit 50% since it's the number we have established here. Make sure that also the leverage is the same. In this case, you would change your leverage to 17x, and then you would hit open short. You can see it took about maybe a minute or two while I'm trying to explain it. In real time, I could probably get this done, especially if I was on my phone and I already had an idea of the number in my head. I can get this done within 10 to 15 seconds, all right? I would say a good amount of situations, that's fine. But there's certain amount of situations to where it'll wick past the point of where your ABC is active, come back and trigger where you're supposed to be entered, and you're still not ready. And get to the points where the price moves a little bit too far out of the way for you to make a smart decision and enter the trade at the right point. So that's one scenario that could happen. This happened with this long position down here. To be honest, if I didn't have the bot, I wouldn't have gotten in this trade. I wouldn't have. Because it happened literally within 10 to 15 seconds. So with the bot, it allows you to set all of your parameters. Everything I just did for you, you can set ahead of time with the bot, and it'll take care of it for you as soon as price hits your conditions. Right? So the other case scenario is what this is going on here. All right? So same thing. You set an alert. Price is getting close to where we're pumping. All right, we pumped straight through it, but now we're not under it yet. So now what you're going to do is basically you're going to set an alert at the same value you had before, but now you're going to hit it, set it, select it to crossing below, and make sure it's at the top of that wick. All right, and so this is where the conditional part comes in. This is what Amar was asking me about. So when you go to conditional, all right, you're gonna see two boxes here. All right, on the second box where it says order price, change this to market. Okay, let me explain why you should change it to market. So if I go to a limit trade, I'm gonna show you a real-time example. All right, but I need to use a different coin just to. I need to use a different coin just because I need to show you, because I don't want to mess with my trades. All right. Let's say in this example, we're looking for shorts. Okay. If I'm going to short, I have to set my limit above the price where I want to get to. So in this case, if you're coming down, if you're setting a conditional for 1838, if you try to set the limit order at exactly the same price or lower, it's going to automatically enter you in. Or it's going to cancel out the trade. It's not going to work. It's not going to enter you in. Let me show you an example. I'm going to do something on LTC right now. I'm going to see if I can do this in real time. So right now we're at, what are we at? Order books 8820. So I'm going to change this to limit. I'm going to go to 8820. I'm also going to set this to 8820. All right, and then let's just do that. Now, if I hit short, order submission failed. Triggered. Let me try that again. It didn't work this time. But as you can see, we're currently below our entry point of that trade, and the order has not triggered us in. So you can see that price did not get you in immediately. In the case that we were using the regular way, or what this will happen is okay, you can see it got me in. But what it had to do, oh wait, did it? Okay, I'm sorry. What it did was, usually it just doesn't work, so I haven't messed with this too much. What it did was it waited for price to get back below, and it came back up, and it triggered the trade. So in that case scenario, you would want price to come in past your entry and retest, and then from there you can set a limit short order. The problem with this is that sometimes you don't get the opportunity to get in, or Bybit won't give you the opportunity to get it. You can see we're back below the entry. You would not be in a trade right now. Same thing if I try to do something. Let's do something a little different. Let's say the trigger price is, let's just try to make this as simple as possible, is at 88.16, but let's say our order price is at 88.10. All right, so our conditional is asking Bybit to get us at a limit order at a lower price. If I do the same thing now, we might have to wait to see. But as you can see, it's not working. Maybe it's 88.14 I have to do. 88.15. All right. So now what'll happen is the order has been filled. You can see Instead of getting me in and waiting till price got below, it automatically filled me in as soon as the conditional went off. So in situations like this, you can't set your entry at the same price when you're using a limit order, because one, it'll cancel it out. It won't let you do it. Two, it'll trigger at the entry. Price will get below and it might not come back up. Three, if you try to set it below or at the same price, it might automatically fill you in at a price that you might not want to get into. So for me and how I set things up, it's just not worth it, because you don't know exactly if price is going to get in, or if you don't know if Bybit's going to get you at the desired price. I've had done this in the past by accident, and it just automatically just canceled my order. That, or got me in at a price point that I did not want to get it at. So for me personally, if you're using the conditional method, it's a small price to pay. Worst case scenario, you can always try to limit out. I don't necessarily recommend that. For me, it's just easier to mark it in and mark it out. I'll pay the fees, especially with how we trade, and the like, you know, you can see we're up 858%, 785% on these longs. It's a small price to pay for the entries that we're taking. So I hope that helps, Amar. If you're going to do that, it's just easier to set a conditional market, because it'll automatically get you in as soon as price crosses the level that you set. Or if you're not going to do that, I would recommend getting your hands on a entry bot. Whether it's I'm gonna you know, obviously I'm on the side of you're going to get one. I do like Trigger Trade. I do like what the bot is. It's very similar to TV Hub. I just like, personally, it works very well. It works very great. You can use either or, but me personally, I'm going to ask you guys to sign up for Trigger Trade if you can. All right, let me move my big head back. I always do that. I always click the hide button. Amar, I'm going to use the bot. Yeah, Amar, if you're going to do this seriously to an extent, Amar, I promise you, trust me when I say this, it'll save you so much time, so much headache, and save you sleep too. Because the problem with the conditional order method is that trades can happen at any time. 5 p.m., 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning. There can be times where you can get stopped out of trades multiple times within an hour. I've lost so much sleep because of this. If I had this a year or two ago, I would have slept like I've been sleeping like a baby for the majority of that time. I would definitely get a lot more well-needed sleep. So, like I said, if you are going to do this, guys, I seriously recommend getting your hands on one of these bots, just because it literally makes life so much easier. You're doing the work ahead of time. You're setting your parameters up ahead of time. You don't have to worry about doing it on the fly. Shall we do Wordle? All right, let's do Wordle. Great start. All right. Okay, so there's an I in here somewhere. Snipe? I'm gonna try to figure out where the Yeah, I want to figure out where the I is. All right, so the I is okay. All right, so it's SPI spy. No, Spire? Is that even a word? Wow. I didn't even need help this time. Problem is with bot, as I need purchase TV subscription or and for webhook and bot subscription cost. Yeah, but it's a small price to pay. At least you're paying like I think, I don't know, like I said, you're paying maybe $15 to $20 a month. Now, if you're playing with a couple $100, I could see why that doesn't make sense. For me right now, the account is at, where's my assets? Right now, my account's sitting at 1265. So for me, it doesn't, it makes sense. The cost of keeping my time, the cost of not having to worry about trades, the cost of being able to sleep at night is worth $20 a month for me. That's just my opinion. I really hope you guys think the same. Trust me when I say this. If I had this a year and a half ago, oh my God, my bags wouldn't be as baggy. I really don't have bags on one of my eyes, but sounds like you are feeling better. Yeah, Drew, I'm like 95% better now. I'm just still very stuffy. I don't know why. You know why? Actually, I do know why. Where I live, you can see on the bottom, like left hand side of my screen, it's 41 degrees Fahrenheit in the middle of January. That is not supposed to be happening. So there's a lot of, my allergies have been all over the place. Usually I don't get allergies that bad, but when weather fluctuates a lot, I'm very sensitive to allergies. So, for me, definitely makes you more stuffy. Pradesh, your big head is working now. Yeah, now that I'm all clear, my head's clear, I can think a little bit better. Price is pumping, you know, it's always a good thing. Heat waves in winter. Yeah, trust me. 2 weeks ago, it was 62 degrees Fahrenheit at the beginning of January. Like, are you kidding me? Like where I live, it's we get a good amount of snow up where I live. It's nowhere like Canada. I know if you guys are in Canada, you guys, you know, our snow seems like a dusting. You know, a foot of snow is a dusting to you guys, but we've gotten some gnarly snowstorms. There was a couple years ago, back, I would say like 3 or 4 years ago, back when I had my Jeep. I used to drive a Jeep before I had my car now. It was a Jeep Wrangler. It was a 2008 Jeep Wrangler. It was an 08 or an 09. I don't remember which one. But it's a 2-door. That thing was on 35-inch snow tires. That thing would plow through. I was able to drive in like a foot and a half of snow just with the back two tires. We had a snowstorm around this time. It was like around the beginning of January, where it was literally 2.5 feet of snow. And I remember trying to drive out in that, and it was actually a lot of fun. But it was kind of scary at the same time, during a monster blizzard. But like, thinking about that, how that happened a couple years ago, and now like I'm look outside and it's sunny, 41 degrees Celsius. It's insane. Like if where I live, if we can get through the middle of February without any serious snow, winter's pretty much over. Because anything we do get past that point, it's gonna be warm enough to melt in a couple days. I know you guys want to see price. I know. Soul is an absolute monster. Let's see, Mohammed. BTC will be going for the retest. What, retest of the high? Probably. I don't know if you've been here before, or if you're new to the channel, but I've been longing since 15,475. There's a good amount of resistance overhead, but I'm fairly confident that price can at least come up to like 25. If we can get past 25k, I think we're easily going up to like 30, 32. But I gotta take it one level at a time. You know, some people are saying, "Oh, this is bit," bearish demand zones here, a lot of resistance up here, volume. There's a lot of bearish volume up here, order blocks up here. Very well could be, but I gotta take it one level at a time. Let's see. What is your position? Did you enter conditional at market order? Yeah, so when I used to use conditionals, I would use conditional markets. And right now I'm currently I have an entry on BTC back at 15,473. So I'm currently long off of this line here. Pretty much caught the exact bottom as of now. Let's see if this holds. But pretty much got in as soon as it wicked below and came back above. And I've just been holding that the entire time. And I'm looking to hold that until we get another bearish, or sorry, another bullish position, and that's when I'll be taking profit. I think it's strong resistance, and he will put back for a retest on the trend line. Then he will be going for the bull run. What do you think about this? Can we short BTC? To be honest, Muhammad, you're probably right, but how I do things, I can't short unless we have a potential bearish setup. So for me, I would need to see an uptrend, which is we're working on here. I need to see a nice clear pullback and then a larger continuation of the upside. Once price gets back above the point of the high here, this is just an example. I'm not saying this is going to happen, just an example. Then I can go ahead and short. If you're not familiar with the method, it's called the ABC method. And basically what we're doing is looking for groups, trends in groups of threes, whether it's to the upside, ABC to the upside or ABC to the downside. And we're looking to either short tops off of ABCs to the upside or long bottoms off of this. So as of now, when we do this and when we take positions, the goal is to basically put ourselves in the best position possible and let price develop in the favor of our direction, and we'll just let it continue until it gives us a reason to take profit or to go short. Well, actually, no, that's the reason to take profit. We look to hold regardless. So for me, how I view things, I'm not concerned with all this little stuff that's going on. For me, what's important is sticking to the 1 to 2 hour and looking for a much larger bearish setup. Let's see. I think I buy Bitcoin at 21. I buy 21K. I hope I'm not get wrecked. That's not the best buying position in my opinion. If you're looking to buy and hold, that's fine. Hold for the long run. But if you're looking to try to get a bottom, I don't think that was the best option. Is it even worth trading Bitcoin with a $40 account? I can use leverage on my broker. Sean, to be honest, it's going to be very hard to make a lot of money with $40. You can try to trade your way up into a larger amount, but I need you to put numbers in perspective. Like for me, for an example, let's say I were to 5x my account right now. Right now, my account is sitting at 1267. We started with about 1,000, right? So if we take 1267 and multiply by 5, right? That leaves me with $6,355, and that's a lot. 500% is a lot. It's a good amount to grow an account with. In your example, if you have $40, you do the same amount of percentage. Yes, you make 500%, but you're only walking away with $200. Unfortunately, it's not the best position to be in. If that's all you have, Sean, why not? If that's all you have, but you have to treat it like it's a good amount of money. And unfortunately, when you do treat it the right way, when you treat your accounts the right way, sometimes it might take a little bit longer to grow. It might be a little bit harder to grow. My suggestion is if you have more money to play with, or if you're willing to learn, $40, you can definitely use it to test and practice and learn. If that's all you have, unfortunately, you're probably going to spend a lot of time learning this method, and you won't be able to make that much money. You could make a killing in percentage wise, but percentages only matter if the money is right. Same thing, for example, if let's say I had a $10,000 account, did 500%, 50 grand. I'm making 250 times more than you did, but we both made the same percentage. I think DXY will keep dropping at Q1. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Thank you for reminding. I want to take a look at the DXY. Ah, too many tabs. Yeah, DXY does not look good. Any signal? No, Muhammad, this is not necessarily a signals channel. All we do here is talk. Right now, we talk crypto. We talked my specific trading strategy and how I trade things. I let you guys know how I do it. I basically do my best to teach you guys how to do the same if you guys are interested. I show you guys how to trade. I'll show you guys the setups I take. But at the end of the day, I'm more about trying to teach you how to do this versus just let you know when I'm buying and selling. And plus, my channel is a little bit more of a swing trading channel. We don't stick around to the 5 minute and trade every single move that happens in the market. But you know what? That's for the better, Mohammed. Sean, what about alts? Unfortunately, same thing with alts, especially if you're using leverage. With alts, it's obviously you have potential to make more, but it's a lot easier to lose. It's about risk, your risk tolerance, and risk to reward. Your risk to reward ratio is going to be a lot higher with altcoins, but you're more likely to lose. So in my opinion, it's not the best option, especially if you're new. If you're experienced, even if with some of my experience, and I've been doing this for just about 3 years now. Just for someone who's been doing this consistently for about 3 years, I would say that alts are not as good as everyone thinks there is. People like to hype them up because of percentage gains and stuff that they make. Don't sit there and try to buy crappy altcoins, something people have never heard of with low market caps. If you are going to trade with them, make sure they have solid liquidity. I would say try to stick to anything that's in the top 10 to top 15. Something that's going to respect price action a little bit better. But unfortunately, it's not a lottery ticket. It's like you can't take $40 of alts and turn it into $10,000. Unfortunately, that's not how it works in this game. It's if you first would have got it back in like 2010, 2012 when it came to like Ethereum and stuff and different alts that came out, yeah, you probably would have made a good amount of money, but that was 10 years ago. Wow, we're at 5:45. Thank you guys so much. But Sean, yeah, if you're interested in learning, I'm an open book. There's gonna be if you want to get into trading, this is also message to a lot of new people too. There's a lot of stuff out there. I promise you, most of it is junk. Most of it is junk, if not mediocre at best. There's nothing really out there that is significant in my opinion. There's no one out there who is significantly better than others. A lot of the stuff that's out there is kind of, it's not the best in my opinion. I'm not trying to, crap on anyone, rain on anyone's parade, but that's just the truth. A lot of what people will say, especially a lot of the top YouTubers you see out there, traders, a lot of it's just the same old stuff. No one's really that special. Thanks. Let's see, Rumples. Hello, good to see you again. I recognize you from last stream. How are you doing? How much of that $1,200 are you risking per trade? Great question. So I use a set percentage based off of the account that I'm working with. As of right now, we're currently using 3% risk per trade, and we're using a 3% stop loss on each individual trade that we're taking. The most important thing to do, though, and focus on, Sean, is that make sure you are adjusting your risk as your, like, for example, oh, that's my Discord. So for example, let's say $1,200. Right now, all right, this tool, this website is used to help basically manage risk, making sure you're staying on top of your risk and make sure you're not over risking. The main goal is to make sure this portfolio at risk matches what you wanted. For me, it's at 3%. So I'm trying to get to 3%. Right now, I'm risking using $48 margin and risking about $36 a trade. But you know, my trades are higher risk to rewards. Or sorry, the risk to rewards are decent, but I'm using higher risk percentages. So for me, the R&R, the risk to reward might not be as high, but the profit is still a good amount of. Let's see. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? I'm doing good. You know, it's been nice out. Can't complain. Feeling a lot better. I was sick for the past week, and almost it seems like a week, just about over a week. So I'm pretty much back to normal. Can I ask you a question? Of course you can. But yeah, Sean, I'm using 3% risk on my account, and we're adjusting that accordingly. So if I lose this trade, so you basically would take, you know, $1,200 minus 36. In the next trade, you're doing 1164. All right, and from there, you know, risk go down a little bit. You say you lose again. Track another 34 from there. 1130. You're basically the same thing if you're winning. If, you know, let's say I hit this trade. Let's say I make an extra, let's say for example, $250. So let's say we go up to 1450. My risk goes up as I win as well. See, how much leverage is it okay to use? So that's a very common question. And in my opinion, leverage is just a tool. All right. Leverage is a tool for traders to use. One, it allows you to not use your entire portfolio to trade with. It allows you to limit your portfolio exposure. Two, it allows you to obviously the more margin you have, the more leverage you use, the less margin you can use and make the same amount of money. Excuse me. So leverage is just a tool. So the leverage you use here, you can change this. So let's say I want to risk 100%. So I can use 100% of my risk $58. Well, obviously I would have to move this to 3%. So you're using a $1,000 portfolio. I'm risking $30. I'm still risking the same $30. I can bump up my leverage to 33x and get liquidated and still risk the amount that I want to risk. Leverage is just a tool. If you change your stop losses, the leverage changes. See, if I want to use 1% stop loss, I can use 100x leverage I wanted to. 2%, 50. You know, vice versa. You know, 4% stop loss, 25, and then I can change these numbers around. The most important thing is to keep this portfolio risk number at the number that you should be aiming for, not more. So if I'm looking to trade 2 to 3% portfolio at risk, regardless of what the settings are here, make sure you set it to where it equals the desired number you're looking for. In this case, it's 3%. Let's say I want to use 75. In this case, 75, 4%. So I changed the numbers around a little bit. You can see, but we still, at the end of the day, still get the same amount, and our leverage changed. But you have the whole amount in the trade. I have 75%. I'm risking 75% of the $40, if that makes sense. But if you really wanted to, you can use the full amount. What I'm trying to say is that you can use 3%, 100%. So the 100%, the risk number you see down here is based off of the stop loss that you use on Bybit. So let's say you're selling short. I don't have to set a stop loss. If I'm change this to 75, let's say I'm using 4, I would go into Bybit. Oh, sorry. All right. And I would go back into Bybit and hit 75. If that makes sense. Oh, you can't see that shit. So all you would do is hit that 75 mark. And if you want to, let's say, go down to 25%, you would have to adjust your margin to compensate for that. It's still 3%, 25. I would have to adjust my leverage to 8x, and then I would just go ahead and hit 25%. You just have to make sure everything else is lined up. Is that calculator free? Yes, Sean. Here, I'll go ahead and do this for you. I'll go ahead and paste the link. And my one friend Kite is a good friend of mine. He discovered this formula for it, and then someone put it into a calculator and made it into and developed a UI for it. So, Sean, it's free to use. Go ahead and use that. One more question. How do you find altcoins to trade? Let's see. How is the margin size different than leverage? It depends on what you're risking. So margin size is the amount of margin you're putting into a trade. As of right now, this trade costs $5.28. 28 cents. Out of that risk, the most important thing to keep an eye on is what you're risking. So if you're trying to risk $4, you have to adjust your margin because you're not risking the full percentage of that, if that makes sense. If you want to risk 3%, all right, and let's say you're using a 50% stop loss on Bybit, your margin would have to be $6 because $3 is 50% of $6, if that makes sense. Or 75%, let's say you're risking $30, all right? Your margin would be set to 40 because 30 is 75% of 40, if that makes sense. But go ahead and play around with that calculator. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And like I said, if you guys outside of the stream, if you guys are new to the channel, if you guys want to follow me, subscribe to the channel, tune in to the live streams. You guys can ask me any questions, as well as check out my I don't know why I'm like pausing because of this. But if you guys have any other questions when I'm not streaming, please feel free to DM me in my Discord in the description. Just keep in mind, I prioritize my group. I prioritize the other groups that I'm in. If I don't answer your question right away, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just backed up with doing other things, and I promise I will get to your question. How do you see it? I will answer your question. If there's a certain amount of time, if I don't respond for like 12 hours, something like that, just DM me again. You might have just gotten lost in messages, but my DMs are always open. But like I said, excuse me, I prioritize the group and the other groups that I work with. So, Will, that's me. Hey, Johnny. Good to see you, my friend. Looks like I haven't seen this name in the channel yet. So if you're new, it's good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Man, I'm so sorry I'm having a sneezing fit. Thank you. I'm telling you, it's my allergies, man. Man, I'm all stuffy now. Sorry, guys. Sometimes when I have sneezing fits like that, it gives me headaches. Oh, it's William. Oh, okay. It's good to see you, William. Sean Daly, thanks a lot. Of course, my friend. Hope it helps. Like I say, if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask, whether it's regarding risk, Bybit, my strategy, how I view markets and stuff. Please, like I said, I'm an open book, especially when it comes to these streams. When I do this a couple times a week, I want you guys to, get as much information from me as you can. Bro, it looks like a small dip first and a possible pump to 25.5K. Probably. I still think we're gonna keep going up. Do you think Bybit is better than BitGet? I mean, considering the fact that I've never heard of BitGet, I would say yes. I would definitely go with Bybit. I've been using Bybit for my entire career, and I've never had any issues, never security issues. They've always showed proof of funds. I know the whole FTX situation going on. They've been reliable. I can honestly vouch for Bybit. Sorry guys, I really had to blow my nose. Let's see. But if you guys are, I have a Bybit account, but I am in the US and have to use a VPN for it to use it. Yes, you do have to use a VPN when you log in. I'm not sure, Sean, if you're using it on your phone or online. If you're doing it online, if you go to Chrome, NordVPN actually has a browser extension. I 110% recommend that. If you're not there's other ones that are out there that are free to use, which are fine. Me personally, I use NordVPN. I love it. If you're interested, like I said, I always show my links. I feel bad for shilling them, but I do have a referral link in the description. If you want to sign up for a different VPN, it does help me and support the channel. But not necessarily. You don't have to use it. Could you use the liquidation level at the exchange if you set risk to 100%? Yeah, technically, you can, if you set up your leverage correctly, Alleycat, you can set a position and not even set a stop loss and just get liquidated. And technically, that would work. Let's see. Hello, Johnny. Can you please take a look at one USDT Harmony? Absolutely. The exchange will exit position at the risk amount. Yeah, basically, whatever you'll exit the full position amount. So make sure you're just risking the right amount. You can get liquidated and still you can still use safe risk while being liquidated. I use Proton free VPN. It works good so far. That's perfect, Sean. That's all you need. So let's see. This looks interesting. Okay. All right, this looks interesting. I do like this as a larger setup. The macro pivot being we're currently like sitting just above that. So if Harmony can hold that 1658, it looks good. Yeah, I don't trade these coins with leverage. I recommend anyone trading these coins with leverage. But for me personally, 01646 is to line for price to be above. We're currently sitting above that, so you got a thumbs up for me, my friend. It looks pretty good. If we can come down at some point, but just keep in mind, if you are going to trade this, you can trade this with spot. Just don't be afraid to sell if it goes below a certain amount of risk. Oh, come on. Give yourself like a 10-15% stop loss. Well, in this case, if you were to enter now, I would give yourself like a 15% stop loss. If it goes against you, I'm not saying to buy now. Ideally, you want to get back as close to that 1646 level as you can. But yeah, it looks good. To be honest, I think it looks pretty good. Appreciate it, of course, my friend. Hopefully it helps. Like I said, that's not financial advice, but that's my analytical approach to how I would look at that. I don't know anything about the project. I don't know anything about the coin. All I know from a chart perspective, it looks decent. Oh wow, it's got to realize. Thank you guys so much for those who just subscribe over the last, you know, who's, I guess during today's stream. If you guys are still here, I do appreciate you for subscribing. There's a couple of you that are new, but I really do appreciate every single one of you. We were doing good, man. We just crossed 500 subs recently, and I feel like 500 to 600 is going to be way faster than 0 to 100, if that makes sense. Like my first 100 subs took a very long time to get. I can tell you. I'm curious when. How long did it take me to get to my first 500 subs? They're not going to tell me. Let's see. I started streaming back in October of 2021. And I didn't hit my first 100 subs until I got to August. Well, my first couple streams were in October 21, but I started streaming consistently again back in March. So let's say March to August. March, April, May, June, July, August. It took me 6 months. Let's see. Kashif, do you have a private membership group? Yes. So if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, it is not guaranteed. You guys don't have to do it. If you guys are interested, though, if you could check out the Patreon link in the description below, I do offer. It's a monthly subscription. The main reason why I charge monthly is because I provide educational content as well as I do my, you get access to the community, you get access to me, you get access to asking me questions. I have a bunch of. I'll show you. You get access to real-time setups from me. I also update videos. I just dropped one recently talking about the conditional method that I used to use. I drop updates on basically how to trade ABCs, everything you need to know how to do that. Trade psychology videos. We go over stuff that's very important. How to, leverage trading tutorials, as well as, even the basic stuff, how to DCA. We got a good amount of people who joined recently. There's a lot of you guys are asking great questions. There's a lot of good information on here. So if you guys are interested, check out the Patreon link in the description for a monthly charge, as well as I do charge for a lifetime. Right now, the lifetime is $150. Whether you like that price or not, unfortunately, it's what it is. We run specials on that every time we double in subscribers. So I did the first one I did at 500, and every time we double from there on out, we're going to run a special. So the special is I dropped the price down for $50 to $50 for anywhere from a 24-hour to a 48-hour period. But the beauty about it, unfortunately, when it comes to that, I don't know when or how long it's going to take to get there. So it kind of, if you guys help me out, I help you guys out as well. I honestly think it's worth the full price, though. That's just me, because I put a lot of time into it. You get a lot of good information out of the group, but it's not required. You guys can come in during the live streams, ask me as many questions as you want. I don't hide behind any paywalls when it comes to this. I'm an open book for the time being. But if you are interested in getting a little bit more extra attention from me, getting a little bit more extra details how to learn, Check out the Patreon link, or if you are interested in a lifetime subscription, DM me on Discord. I'll send you a separate payment thing. If you can pay me by crypto. I've had people pay me in crypto before. So please, please definitely, if you're interested, let me know. Thanks for answering my questions. Appreciate it, brother. No problem. Like I said, if like, it's not required, guys. I'm not trying to shill. I'm not trying to force you guys into the Discord. It's just an extra thing to support me, support the channel, as well as you get access to a lot of your information. I've had people say it's a great investment. Those who are in the group, if you can vouch for me, you don't have to, but if someone asks, just let them know if you like it or not. But yeah, all my information is in the description for those who are interested. Let's see, Forex, what up, bro? It's good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Glad you can make it. See, we already went over all the TA stuff in the beginning, so unfortunately, if you're just tuning in, you did miss it. But if you guys have any questions, like I said, please feel free to ask. During these streams, I'm an open book. I try to answer as many questions as I can, provide as much knowledge and information as I can during these streams, as well as, we also stream multiple times throughout the week. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, at anywhere from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I like to aim for closer to 1 p.m. Like today we went on at like not 1:15-ish. But sometimes if I can't, I'll push it back closer to 2. But ideally I like to aim for like that 1 to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. But the general range is 1 to 2 p.m. So fortunately, some guys do miss the stream. Some people do come in late. I am sorry I'd be late. No worries, my friend. No worries. Like I said, you're always welcome to watch the rerun. Beginning, I always go over the TA and stuff. But if you have any questions regarding, strategies, my strategy, Bybit, how to work Bybit, risk, trading, anything in general, these streams, like I said, I try to be an open book. I try to answer as many questions and provide as much information as I can. You will be at 1,000 by mid-February. That's the hope, Drew. We'll see. Well, that's what I'm hoping for. Nah, I think I'm gonna be realistic. It took me 6 months of consistent streaming to get to. Oh, sorry. So it took me about. Well, it took less than a year because technically, I always say this. I started in October of 2021. I don't believe that counts because, well, I'll show you. Oh, I just realized as well, guys. We just recently passed 100 videos. So this is 100 and this is the 101st video on the channel. So I can't believe I released 100 videos already. That's crazy. So yeah, March 16th. I started, my first stream was September 20th, 2021. I did a couple streams here and there, but I took like a 4-month hiatus. There's a lot of stuff that was going on in my life, and it was a lot of tough things, and it was kind of hard to get back consistently into streaming. But in March, I kind of kicked it up, decided to, you know what, get my ass up out of bed and just go for it. I started streaming twice a week, and eventually we worked our way up to here. But yeah, we're at 100 videos, so I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's see. Why don't you use any indicators or indicators? The indicators are unnecessary. So I don't use indicators because I don't need them. To me, the best indicator is price action. Price does a really good job at telling you the levels that matter, and it gives you the positions that are worth taking. I can promise you almost with a good amount of certainty that I can get into trades or detect movements way before an indicator can. The problem with indicators is that majority of them are lagging. Now, doesn't mean you can't use them. I just don't think it's the most ideal situation. I personally put the ABC strategy in the way I trade things. I prioritize that over everything else. I can look at indicators all I want. It's not going to change my decisions, trading ideas. My problem with indicators is that people put too much emphasis, too much weight into them. People think they're gospel. That's not the case. They're indicators, and they think that they have a certain indicator that's going to give them an edge over the market. Sorry to break it to you, but a lot of the times, if you think that it's going to give you an edge, most people are going to kind of go with that same idea or move or use that same indicator in the same way, and guess what? It doesn't become an edge anymore. As well as big players know this. Big players know that you guys are trying to use these certain indicators, so they'll use those against you to try to play into the manipulation, play into the mind games, make you guys think a certain way, and just completely screw you out of your positions. There's a lot of reasons why I don't necessarily like the indicators. I don't hate them. There's a place for them, just not in my book and how I do things. I just don't need them. That's the short answer. Mr. Reckless, hey Johnny, good to see you. Let's see, check KDA and tell me your thoughts. You missed it before. I'm sure you saw this too, Mr. Reckless, but we are currently in an ABC short setup. I personally am a little bit not as eager to take a position on KDA. One, I've just been burned too many times. Two, I think we're pretty bullish right now, to be honest. I'm not in a rush to get into any shorts at the moment. I would need to see BTC form a nice short setup first before I can consider that. But until that happens, I'm not really too eager to hop into a KDA position right now. But Forex, I hope that answered your question. I'm not anti-indicator. I'm anti the reasoning behind them. The fact that people, you know, I'm not going to call out anyone specifically, but there's people who put way too much of, how I say this. They rely way too much on these indicators, man. Let's see. You received nice amount of new peeps into Discord. Congrats. Thank you, Mr. Reckless. Yeah, you guys have been absolutely beyond. I can't even describe the feeling. Like how many people signed up over the past those 48 hours. It absolutely blew me away. You guys absolutely. I had certain expectations for that, but you guys blew them out of the water. So going into the one that we're gonna be doing at 1,000. I have to definitely prepare a lot more. I'm gonna be approaching it a little bit differently this time, just to give myself some, just to give myself a little bit more of a streamlined setup to get you guys in. I definitely learned my lesson from last time. One that you guys are absolutely phenomenal too is that I need to do this in a little bit more of a streamlined system. So I'm working on that in the background. But yeah, you guys are absolutely phenomenal. Thank you every single one of you who decided to join the Discord recently. I wouldn't be here without you guys. All right, everyone. We crossed the 2-hour mark. I got all the tea out of the way. We played Wordle. We got a lot done. We had great conversations. You guys got great questions. I really thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate every single one, whether you're new or whether you've been subscribed to the channel for a while. I do appreciate the support. I do appreciate you guys coming by, asking great questions. I'm going to call it a day though, just because, you know, it is Sunday. I got some stuff to do. I know you guys are coming from different time zones. I figure hop around this time just so you guys have some time to at least listen to what I have to say going into the week. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I will be here on Tuesday, right? In 2 days. Remember, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, I'll be here at 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark your calendars. I'm going to do my best to release this, try to see if I can find a way to release a schedule on YouTube so you guys know when I'm going to be streaming. But I will let you guys know ahead of time as much as I can. I do appreciate every single one of you guys for being here, though. It does mean the world to me. The support is unreal as we continue to grow. I really couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you to every single one of you, whether you're new or you've been here since the beginning. It really does mean the world to me. So on that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Let's see, bro. Can you send me the link where I can follow your VIP channel? Yeah, Forex. I'll DM you. I'll DM you after I'm done here. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for joining. I really do appreciate it. Until then, I'll catch you guys in 2 days. So like I said, mark the calendars. Be there, be ready. Hopefully we'll get some more price action. Maybe we'll continue to pump. If it doesn't, something else happens. If something new arises, new opportunities, I'll let you guys know in the next video. But until then, I love you all. I can't thank you guys enough. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.